Hi, Kaying. I see that you are trying to use all three strategies within the same design, so points of emphasis. So you have kind of a dark area that gradates to light, dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. This one not established yet, and this one you're trying to go from dark to light somewhere out here, I would imagine, so it's implied. Then you're trying to use a single visual pathway that kind of gradates from hue family to hue family. And then you're planning to add interpenetration within. I don't see that yet, so I assume that you haven't put that in yet. So right now, let's take a look at this. I think that there is some kind of overallness in that you have values that are placed next to each other that are higher in contrast than maybe they need to be. So you really want a smooth transition from dark to light or light to dark. So you're going like, step 7 in 6 and transitioning to step 6 in 5 and transitioning to steps 5 and 4 and so on and so forth to get that really smooth gradation that you want. And that would be the same for all of these. And you can see where the scale, getting the scale as best as possible is really important so that you can achieve those smooth gradations from dark to light or from light to dark. So you'll want to check on that. So there's some overallness like this one here. And maybe that's where you intended for some interpenetration, but these are really high contrast. These are really high contrast. This is working well, in here. But again, moving more smoothly between your steps. This is high contrast here. So maybe this is step 7 and this is 6. And then you have to ask, is this 5? I'm thinking it might be. So you have to go back and take a look at your scale and see if there's too high of if there's not an equal value contrast or it's too high compared to the rest of your steps between step 6 here and step 5 here, if that's too big of a jump from here to there. You're making a nice transition within your single visual pathway from one hue family to another. You want to make sure that you're doing that. And here in the yellow, it's working well. So there's kind of a nice transition from your yellow values to orange values. Here, you might try making it a little bit more in the intermediate values. These seem a little bit light, though it is transitioning pretty well here. This is a little bit too much. And in here, you're transitioning from red to purple in the darker values. So you want to make sure your single visual pathway, perhaps it can gradate from light to the middle values or from dark to the middle values. It doesn't necessarily have to transition through the entire 7 steps of the scale because you want to make those transitions using intermediate values, something that still retains the character of the color, a step that retains the character of the color. As far as your interpenetrations are working, again, I don't think that you've actively incorporated them into your design, so I won't talk about those right now. Your red area doesn't really have a feeling of gradation yet. Your purple does. One thing you might want to consider is just repositioning the whole composition. Maybe this shifts up a bit more this way so that maybe you cut off more of it here. And right now it's in the center. I might move it to the left or the right a little bit so that you can see more of these other implied squares that you've divided up your ground with. All right, well, I hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing your design on Wednesday. If not before. Before would be great.